So I want to do 2 check-ins with you. One check-in, did you go to the ATM this week? And if you did you activate thinking money? So remember, I talked about this last Sunday. I said, when you go to the ATM, when you stand there, when you put your card in, you say, I am activating thinking money. And you're using the feeling tone of abundance, of prosperity, of knowing that you already have it. So I went one time this week and I did it. And I say it out loud. So it is what it is. People do look at me like I'm a little crazy. It's okay. It doesn't matter to me. And then your second thing, let me check in, was homework, right? And so our homework was creating a money affirmation. And I shared with you all Reverend Ike's money affirmation, which is quite colorful. And if I tell you to do homework or invite you to do homework or encourage you to do homework, then I need to do it too. So I did create my money affirmation and I want to share it with you all. God is my source and I am resourced by the source. God and I are one. I have all that God has because God and I are one. This is the truth of my abundant life. I know that God flows in, through, and as me. Life is grandificent. Life is grandificent. Yes, I made up a word. It is grandificent. My daughter Zola likes to combine words when she's feeling both things. It's a and both things. So I'm feeling grand and I'm feeling magnificent, grandificent about life. So, did anyone do their homework? Crickets, 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 crickets. Guess what? Today is a new day. Today is a new day. And if you choose to, I encourage you to do it. And so I've been saying this affirmation every single day. And when I'm out and about, I shorten it and I just say, yes, God is my source. Yes, I am resourced by the source, right? And we have to put our feeling, our energy into it. The feeling tone is the activation. Words are just words. Unless they have some in it, where's it going? It's just going to fall flat, right? So I'll check in with y'all again next week. We'll see. We'll see. So I also shared my money story with you all last week, the story about being 10 and being sent to the Fresh Air Funds Friendly Visitors program. And that's when I made the big discovery that we weren't rich. Well, I don't think I really thought we were rich, but I thought we had money, right? Or more money than we actually had. And then I discovered, they had all these material things. And then I started to question how much I had, right? How much I had. And that kind of shifted my perspective about money and got me into the space of like, we don't have enough of it because we don't have a minor league baseball team and a yacht, and we all share the same bedroom, and those kids had their own room and a playroom. So all of that stuff, right, forms our money story, right? And so I know each of us has one, and I would hope that you have been in touch with yours as we explore this series this month. Because when we talk about seeds, I love that quote that Jan shared in the meditation, that the seeds are dropped into the invisible spiritual substance, right? And they grow. And some of us, I asked the question, what are your thoughts about money? And some of us shared, I don't have enough. So that's a seed. That's a seed that we're planting, that we dropped into that invisible spiritual substance, and it will do what it does. It will say, yes, you don't have enough. Here's more of not enough, right? So we have the opportunity to replant the seeds, to replant the seeds. So as Jan shared our message today is spirit, substance, supply, oh my. Spirit, substance, supply, oh my. And yes, you are right, Jan. It is a play on the Wizard of Oz, the Wiz. And so we're all familiar with it, right? They go into the woods and, they see the lion. You'll know the story, right? And Jan is correct, right? The essence behind that is about awe, apprehension, and fear, right? They were a little nervous and they were a little scared. And some of us are also when we think about money. We get a little nervous. We have some apprehension. There's some fear that might come up, right? And so if that's our feeling tone about money, we know where our work is. We know where our work is, right? We don't have to figure it out. There it is. There it is, right? So not only is our relationship with money can be based in fear and apprehension, so could our relationship with spirit. So is our relationship with spirit. So if someone could let folks in, I see them in the waiting room. Thank you. We know that everything is one thing. Everything is one thing. So I'm just offering this today, and you can see how it fits for you. Our relationship with money, right? Some of us feel like it's not enough. Our relationship with God. If everything is one thing, then is our thinking about God not enough? Something to think about, something to just mull over. Most of our limiting beliefs are formed, as we know, during our childhood, during those formative years, and they take root through those overwhelming feelings and emotion, not just through our thinking. Not just through our thinking. And there's basically 4 major limiting beliefs, if you will. I am not enough. I am not worthy. I am not lovable. I am not safe. Mine that resonates with me is I am not worthy. That limiting belief I have transformed by doing my work. Now, does it still pop up? Oh, you betcha it does, right? But I know how to be with myself as I be with transforming that belief over and over and over again till it's almost nothing. It pops up, I address it, right? And you might find that your money story is rooted in one of those limiting beliefs. So we know that money is a spiritual idea. It's a symbol of divine substance and supply. Money is substance molded by thought. And as I said, everything is one thing. So what you think about money, y'all, is what you think about God, either subconsciously or unconsciously. So we must transform not just our relationship with money, we really need to transform our relationship with God. That's where it starts. Our relationship with God. So what do you think about God? What is the quality of your relationship with spirit? Our relationship with money, I believe, is an opportunity, the entryway for some of us to transform our relationships with God. Sometimes we need a thing. Sometimes we need a thing to show us something else. And for many of us, money is the thing. We think about it. We want it. We don't think we have enough of it, right? That could be our entry point into transforming not just our relationship with money, but more importantly, our relationship with God. Money has a way of getting our attention, right? Now, spirit also has a way of getting our attention, but oftentimes we ignore it, right? That still small voice whispering in our ears. We all been there, right? Oh, no. But let us wake up and we check our bank account and we have a negative balance. Oh, we are paying attention, aren't we? We are paying attention. So Ernest Holmes says this about supply. Supply is the general term used to cover every conceivable need. So we would include money in every conceivable need, right? God is the substance of all things, and this substance is itself the supply of every demand that can be made. In the science of mind, we learned that the supply of every good awaits our demand. All that the Father hath. Somewhere there is already provided a lavish abundance for every want, a supply equal to any claim that can be made upon it, but the demand must be made. And Ernest has that in capital letters. And you'll know in the Science of Mind text, whenever he has something in capital letters, he is yelling at us, right? But the demand must be made as you believe. Each has the power to demand his share of the gift God has provided of health, wealth, and power. Each is supplied as they believe. So our belief, we know this, is crucial. Our thinking is crucial. Our feeling tone about it is crucial, right? Everything that God is, we already are. All that God has is already ours. Do we believe that? Sometimes, when things are really good, I believe it. When things start to get a little shaky, my belief gets a little shaky too, right? Am I the only one? Yes, right? So I love how Joel Goldsmith describes supply in his book, Practicing the Presence, which is, by the way, one of my favorite all-time books. Supply is spiritual, an activity of consciousness. At first, we may agree with this only intellectually, but the day will come when it will be spiritually discerned, and then we shall see the world of supply is within, although it appears visibly in the without, right? Supply is spiritual. Money is a spiritual idea, right? So there is a story that is running our lives, and that story is the same story that we have about money. I am not worthy. The same story I have about money. I am not enough. The same story I have about money. I am not safe. The same story I have about money. I am not lovable. The same story I have about money. But it's not just the story I have about money. It's the story that I have about God. So we are transforming the story. And we transform the story by transforming our relationship with spirit first. We know the sacred text, right? In Matthew 6:33. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Joel Goldsmith puts it this way: seek first the realization of this inner kingdom and be a beholder as these outer things are added unto your experience. Both are saying, seek first. What are we seeking first? Spirit, God, infinite, creator, love, whatever we want to call it. We are seeking that first, not money. Oh yeah, when I get money, then I can dot, dot, dot. Right? Doing that bargaining thing. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So the degree of our demonstration is the degree of our awareness of our relationship with God. The demonstration of our money, of our supply, is in direct relationship with the degree of our awareness of God being our source. Not money. So I want to be really clear about this. The intention of our relationship with God and how we relate to that indwelling spirit is first. Is first. So are we seeking a realization of God, or are we trying to reach God in order to get something through God? We can't trick spirit. We can't trick the law. The Lord knows all our little tricks, and it says yes to all of them. Right? So let's be honest. Do you only attend to that secret place of the Most High when stuff is going wrong, when things are a little topsy-turvy, right? When you're at your wit's end and you don't know what else to do, you went and talked to everybody else, right? You consulted your oracle cards. I do that, right? Well, let me see what my angel cards have to say about this, and then I'll go pray, right? Seek first spirit. Go within first. We must know that supply is spirit, and it is within each one of us. It is never visible, and it will never become visible. What you behold in the outer world are the forms that supply assumes. Money is a demonstration of the formless in form. That's simply what it is. So our relationship is not with the form. It is with the formless. It is with the spirit. Our relationship is not with the visible. It is with the invisible. That's where it all starts. That's why I love Chris's book, Manifesting. It's in the invisible where the manifestation happens. And then we see it. It's an inside job, right? But some of us are in relationship with the form, the visible, and not with the thing itself. And now is the time to transform. We are not Dorothy, the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, or the Lion in the Woods with the lions and tigers and bears, fearful, apprehensive. Don't be scared of spirit. Don't be scared of substance. Don't be scared of supply. Everything else is temporary. Form is temporary. We saw through the Wizard of Oz, after they got through the lions and the tigers and the bear, that wasn't the whole movie. It was a temporary circumstance that they had to move through to get to the other side. And what did they discover once they got to the other side? That all that they were looking for, they already had. They already had. They demanded it. They demanded it. And so can we. So let's know that money is temporary. And I oftentimes, the night before service, I do a bedtime intention, and I just put out to Spirit, is there anything else for me to know? Is there anything else for me to know for service tomorrow? So I did that last night. And what came to me this morning, even before I opened my eyes, was to do a show and tell. So when I was a kid, I loved show and tell. I loved show and tell. It was like the best thing in elementary school. And I said, okay, what am I showing God and what am I telling, right? Because all I got was do a show and tell. And I was like, I need a little bit more information. So I went ahead and I did my spiritual practice and I got the rest of the download. And so this is what came through. This is the show and tell of how form is temporary. So this, if you can see it, right, that's a banknote. That's some money. It's from the Bank of Mexico. It's a 2,000 pesos. That's what this banknote is. Guess what? In 1991, this bill went out of circulation. Poof. Temporary. No longer exists. It's temporary. This is a $5,000 CFA franc from the Central Africa Bank. I got this when I was in Senegal. Their money is so pretty. I know it's just so pretty. It's so colorful. It's so pretty. So this $5,000 franc was first issued in 2002. So before 2002, it didn't exist. Right? Temporary. This, now we're getting into the big bucks here, y'all. 50,000 Crueiros. This is from Brazil. I got this when I was in Brazil. I have about 180,000 Crueiros, and I know I'm killing it, but you know, right? 180,000 right now. Guess what it's worth? Nothing. You know why? Because in 1994, all forms of this money was removed. Totally eliminated. And a whole new currency was put into place. Temporary. So if I put all my faith and trust in the peso, in the franc, in the Crueiros, and this is temporary, what's going to happen to me? So my faith is not in the money. Let's go to our money, right? The United States of America. Here's a $1 bill, right? Is this $1 bill worth $1? If you think it is, I have some news for you. What cost $100 in 1913 would cost $2,634 in 2020. So it probably would cost even more now. Temporary. The value is temporary, right? But at least with the dollar bill, it at least tells us something, right? The dollar bill, all the bills in the United States tells us what? In God we trust. It doesn't say in this dollar we trust. In God we trust. God is spirit, God is substance, God is supply. Some of us are under the illusion that this stuff that is just arbitrary, here one day, gone the next. We'll print up some more. We'll take it all away. That is not what we seek first. We seek first the kingdom that is where? Within us. We don't even have to go that far. Some of us, I know I was one of these people, are under the illusion that our job is our supply, right? I see a lot of head shaking on that one. There was a time in my life I put my trust in my employment, in my job. I really, truly believe that my job was my source of supply. And guess what else was wrapped up in that? So was my worthiness. I thought I was worthy if I had a certain job making a certain amount of money. Everything is one thing. So I've shared my testimony. I've shared my testimony about, having this fabulous, what appeared in form, having this fabulous job where I was being paid more money than I've ever was paid before. And I was miserable. Miserable. I loved how Joel Smith talks about this, about work, about our jobs. He says, very soon, we find that if we are not in the type of work that satisfies our soul sense, we are lifted out of what we are doing into something else. This will never happen, however, as long as we believe that our work is the source of our supply. I am so grateful that I was plucked out of that situation by my soul. My soul spoke to me and said, no, we are not doing this again. Remember, God is your source, Melissa. I said, oh, what was I thinking? Oh, I was thinking I wasn't worthy. And if I had all this money, then maybe I would feel better. Oh yeah. Okay, let's get that straightened out right now. Right? Our soul has sense. Our soul sense. Let's listen to it. It's trying to get our attention. My soul sense got my attention with money. It did. And it was through that short experience that, again, I was at a conscious choice to choose the knowingness that I have what I need because God is my source. And I am resourced in a multitude of ways by that source. And each one of us are. Each one of us are. Be transformed by the renewing of our mind. It's time for us to think a new thought. It's time for us to think a new thought about money, our value, the value we place on ourselves, about how much we have and how much we don't have. God sees us as whole, perfect, and complete, made us that way, highly favored, each and every one of us. When we go within to that sweet, sweet secret place of the Most High, I never hear the voice saying, how much money you have? Never. I hear, I love you. That's what I hear. I hear the sweet whisperings of love. So there is really only one demonstration to make: the realization of our own consciousness. Supply is already embodied in us, and we get to express it. in so many unique and wonderful ways. So the realization that God and I are one, how are you expressing it? Do that first. And everything else will be added upon. Everything else. That is priceless. That never loses value. Never loses value. It never goes out of circulation. Never. It is infinite substance, invisible supply. That is enough. I am enough. And I am worthy. Yes. Yes. So I have more homework for y'all. You're ready? It's from the book, Practicing the Presence. And that's the homework, to practice the presence, to up it. So I'm going to share a little bit from Practicing the Presence. Joel Goldsmith writes, and listen for your homework in this. He says, hundreds of books have been written on this subject, but those that have been written out of the depths of experience all agree that the presence of God can only be realized when the senses are stilled, when we have settled down into an atmosphere of expectancy, of hope, and of faith. In this state of realization and relaxation, we find peace and we wait. That is all we can do, just wait. We cannot bring God to us, for God is already here in this inner stillness, in this quietness, in this confidence. So we are practicing the presence. We're settling down. We're in an atmosphere of faith. And we wait in that inner stillness. Not as a drive-by, but intentionally. Not as a drive-by. What do I mean by that? Oh, let me do this real quick. Let me get this in. No, intentionally. Yes? Now I want to share one other part to that. There are only a few people out of the billions on earth who are consciously practicing the presence. Spend many periods a day, even brief ones, tabernacling in the temple of your own inner being with this presence. Spend many periods a day, even if it's brief, in the consciousness of the presence that is indwelling within you. So we are practicing spirit, substance, and supply. Oh my. Oh my. Isn't it grandificent? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.